Hello and welcome to Realty Plus Real Talk. I am Asma Rafat and joining me today is Udayan Mane, director at propbuying.com, someone who's become a familiar name in Pune's real estate circles. With over a decade in the industry, he has worked closely with some of city's leading developers and is known for his sharp market insight and grounded understanding of the market. Great to have you with us, Udayan.
Thank you, Asma, and welcome all.
In today's episode, we are going to talk about how Pune's real estate market is evolving, what's really driving demand on the ground, and also understand what prop buying is all about. So, Udayan, to start with, for our viewers who may not be familiar, tell us a bit about propbuying.com and what you do.
Hello viewers. First of all, thank you, Asma, for giving me an opportunity to present our thoughts. Basically, this is a company which is more than a 14-year-old. We have started operations in Pune since 2012-13, and we are into a primary residential and commercial sales of the branded properties, which are A-grade developers across the city. We operate through our three offices in Pune. One is in East Pune, Kharadi, another is in Baner, towards west, and one is in center of the city. We are known for our hit ratio. We are known for our efficiency. We only stick to our top 15 developers of the city, maybe country now, because a lot of national brands are here in Pune. We sell all their projects across the city, and we only are focused in that. So we are never into secondary. We never did anything in rentals, but we are primarily focused too much into under construction, rather pre-launch properties.
Yeah. So you said you have spent like more than a decade in Pune's real estate. According to you, what has changed the most in the way people buy property today?
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of things have changed. When we started, it was pre-RERA, pre-GST, pre-demonetization time. Today, it is all changed. It is, in fact, it is upside down. That time, there are hardly any channel partners or brokers in the city who are operational. Today, there are 7,000 more plus consultants. So basically, earlier times, it was a lack of an information era wherein the home buyer didn't know what is he can get in his budget, what all he can aspire for, and which side of city he should invest. Today it is all together different. He knows exactly what he wants. He know where he can get, but he needs certain assurances, certain background checks, like the financial health of the developer, the actual sale which is happening at the project, the availability or the correct final price. And for that, he needs a professional realtors their channel partners in the transaction. And that's why they are taking almost 70% of the sale in the city.
Hmm. So if we talk about again property and finance, do most buyers in Pune still underestimate the financial side of buying a house?
Not really. I feel earlier it was a time when we used to see when the buyer generally go for a sanction letters and the finance option post purchase, and hardly 5 to 7% of the buyers used to come up with a pre-approved home loan cases. Now, if you see during the Chat GPT era and the total technology penetration into the home buyers day-to-day activities, he is well aware about the approximate home loan or a home finance that he can get. And then he generally hunt for a property within his range. In fact, in Pune, if you see the turnaround time for a home loan closure is around 7 years. So in 7 years time, he generally closes the home loan and switch to the next property for an upgrade. So now they are very much aware about how much their pocket size is, and they generally tend to invest around that.
So as you have mentioned, Udayan, prop buying works in both residential and commercial spaces. So right now, where are you seeing stronger confidence from buyers and why? If we talk about like micro market in Pune.
So I feel I would say two of my favorite localities because those are giving a year on year confirmed concrete growth, and the development is at a tremendous speed. Generally, if you see in Pune, that the developer develops the area or the property first, but the infrastructure takes time because, of course, it's a government's speed at which it operates. And that's why there are some areas which are still lagging with a good and a basic infrastructure like roads, water supply. In some of the cases, even the electricity is the issue.
Right.
But if you see these two areas like Baner
Mm,
and Kharadi, these
mm,
both areas have all roads which are, your concrete roads with pavements for the pedestrians. You have optic fiber network laid down. You have a underground sewage and water lines,
right.
piped gas connections are made, and
Right.
this is all clutter-free areas which don't have a slums around. So this is very, very organized way a locality should develop, and that is why these areas are giving 14, 15, even 20% of price rise in a year, which is unheard in Pune.
Hmm, hmm. Right. And if we talk about again micro markets, do you think uh, these micro do you think which of these micro markets do you think are genuinely growing, and which ones are just being overhyped?
So I feel the growth is definitely in these two areas, and then around Baner, if you see, there is Balewadi.
Hmm.
With the extension of a little lower ticket size, if one wants to stay near to the Baner, they invest in Madunge and so on. In Kharadi side, if you see, there is a Kharadi annex which is called as Wagholi, which is growing because of Kharadi. But core no livability is more in Baner and Kharadi as such. But over I hype, I feel in the city areas. So in the center of the city, if you see like Kothurud, the Pet areas, or a traditional Punekar who wants to stay near to the center of the city, or the camp and Sopan Bagh, all these areas which are very close to the other center of the city, which is camp, cantonment, who are from defense and all. Those the rates where they are buying at are really hyped rates, I feel, because in that particular cost, you are just paying for the conveniences. You're just paying for the particular piece of land which is into that location. Otherwise, you're not getting in terms of the expanse of the property or the amenities or the specification which has to be there in a property which is worth crore of rupees, like more than 3 crore. In fact, in these areas, if you see, the good property is around 3 to 4, 5 crore, in fact. But the values of the engineering material and all these things are not there. It is only a land value which is taking a bigger share in the price, and that's why I think it is overhyped than the real value should be.
Yeah, correct. So, if we talk about negotiation, a lot of people say negotiation is everything in real estate. Is it true? Like, this is a personal question.
So negotiation has to be there, honestly,
Mhm.
because that's the trend, and that is somehow many a times a make or break for a lot of buyers. But I feel it cannot be over, it can be never ending
Yeah,
and overstretched. I
right.
mean, this is the product which gets delivered after years.
Mm.
You cannot predict the price.
Uh,
Nobody can in the world can predict the price,
right.
but it is only on the basis of certain assumptions, certain experience of the developer who has delivered more than
Mm.
decades in this industry, and he knows a particular set of calculations. Around that, he builds a pricing.
True.
But if you keep on negotiating, it generally buckles in one or the other way, and normally, the buyer is the loser in that case, because opportunity for a good home doesn't knock twice.
True.
So generally negotiation has to be there, but it has certain margin. Now today's time, if you
Mm.
see, the builders are having, the developers are having such a detailed research. Like we said, in buyers have such so much of research. Imagine what a developer can have. So channel partners like us and many from our organization Prop, we help developers to understand the micro market
Mm.
before the product can come in.
Right.
We understand the buyer psychology, how much is his pocket size, what is the trend going on, what all he wants into his apartment, whether it is two, three, or a four-bedroom house, what all he wants to have in this particular locality. And then this entire pitch goes to the architect, and then architect plan his project around the similar requirement.
Right.
So it is no longer a gut feel product. it is obviously a scientifically data-driven product which comes to the market, and that is why it is well received. So we call it as a product fit, the price fit and a market fit. So these all are market fit products, and that's why you see only a negotiation will not help. A certain margin of negotiation just to get an opportunity, you always should expect.
Right. So, according to you, what is that one mistake buyer make at the negotiation table that ends up costing them?
So I feel producing a check is one of the biggest mistake, because the transaction happens when you put your foot down, right?
Mm,
Normally, because there are so many misinformations in the digital world, buyer is confused with the price, and he always feel that there is a scope, a further scope in the negotiation, which normally is not. If you have a channel partner, a good professional channel partner, as a part of your transaction, he is aware about the final pricing because he was got briefed by the builder before he could start selling this property. So I feel many a buyers just negotiate over a WhatsApp, over a phone call, over a meeting maybe, and
mm,
then leave the premise
mm,
without closing it. In
mm,
fact, yeah, people like us who have spent more than 20 years in sales, we understand that buyer leaving a table is
mm.
never a choice. So sales guy go out of the way, deviates, and take the final permissions and get this customer accommodated into the deal. But if he haven't got a transaction by means of any payment, a token payment you call or a check payment, then this entire exercise goes for a waste. So normally everybody wants to have a final price, but very few produces a check, and that's why they cannot get the final price. So sales guy normally don't leave the money on the table unattended, and he generally goes out of the way and take it. I feel the buyer should always carry his check and the KYC documents and show the urgency that I want to close it if I have liked everything and the unit, the apartment or the unit is of his choice. He should go ahead and just close this, because that is the price the sales guy can give only he sees when he sees the amount coming to his company.
Right, right. And if you talk about the work that you have done work across sales, marketing, and client advisory. So, what sells faster today, Udayan, in today's market, if you talk about the pricing, the marketing, or location?
So I'm not great fan of location, honestly, though the real estate always sells
Yeah.
around the location.
I so?
But today, if you feel typically in Pune, yeah, because if you feel in Pune, in any particular location, you will have multiple projects
Mm,
which are equally good.
mm,
But then you cannot just harp on the locations that I am at this location because of the new UDCPR rules in Pune.
true.
In particular area, you can have a wonderful projects,
Mm,
and still everybody will call the same location that I am at this location. How can you differentiate? So ideally, it should be a more than a location. It should be a market fit. It should have a right size which is in demand today. They should really understand the pulse of the market. They should listen to the channel partners. They should listen to the taste home buyers or the existing customers what they want in that premise, and then they should bring that product in that location. I feel everything sells, Asma, in real estate.
yeah,
Every apartment which is built eventually gets sold because there is a buyer for each home.
true,
It is a matter of time.
true.
But then in that particular micro market, if
Mm,
you can find a right balance of price, a
mm,
good size, and a right type of product,
mm,
it generally sells in every corner of the city. You see, there is the same rate in today Kalyani Nagar also for some project. The same rate is commanded by the good developer in Kharadi also. The
mm.
similar rate is in Kothurud also, and the similar rate you can see in Baner also. How can a person have a similar per square foot rate for all four locations? Because each location has a typical buyer range who always buy in that location. So that absolutely not about location.
Yeah, yeah. Udayan, if we talk about campaigning, if we talk about selling, so online marketing has changed how projects are sold today. So, do you think digital campaigns really convert serious buyers, or do they mostly make noise?
Yeah, you have touched the pain point of today's home buyers, journey.
Mhm,
Asma, we are in an evolving stage of real estate.
mhm.
So earlier, when digital kicked off, it was at this high,
Right.
and it was only digital. then we are in a wavy phase wherein it is creating a chaos.
Mhm.
But people are finding a way out of it. So try and understand. Earlier, developer used to also spend, and a channel partner also used to spend on digital, and it was creating a competition. Now,
Right.
developer has understood no matter how much he can spend, he better take a channel partner along, and he can do a BTL and ATL campaigns like hoardings and big paper news advertisements, and give a support to a channel partner who is spending on his behalf. So the channel partners is the normally guys like us and many others in Pune who keep on spending on Meta, Google, and so on,
Mhm.
and they generate the inquiries, and developers generally try to serve those inquiries. However, it is anyways beneficial for a developer because somebody else is spending for him.
Right.
And home buyers generally get in chaos because the pricing, the RERA is not yet kicked in into a next stage, which is checking of marketing collaterals, checking of the price, and the realistic imagery.
Mhm.
Now everybody is using the AIs and
Right.
so on. So that's why the buyers are getting confused. But it's a matter of time. RERA is going to be soon announcing a new amendments, and then I think it is all having a strict rules about what all you can pitch in and what all you cannot. Then it will, I think, give a clearer picture to the buyer.
Right, right. So, if we talk about customers who have become very smart because of all the internet age that we are living in, so customers have access to endless listings and the information that is available online. Where does a real estate advisor like yourself add value to them?
So I feel digital exposure cannot be taken away from the buyer because
Right.
he now in today's era he orders grocery and even pizza online. So you cannot expect him to come out and meet a real estate advisor or a builder. He has to do his own prior study before that. But I feel that's all too imaginary world. Real estate is about all touch and feel,
Mm-hmm.
and it is very personal and emotional buy
Mm-hmm.
for someone because it is sometimes it is the only home that he buys,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes a lot of it is biggest investment at the end of the day for his lifetime. So I feel the real estate advisor is the one who actually is at the site, who has seen the project much before even any first buyers has seen. Like we are the one who are already engaged with the builder when he purchases the land. Imagine how well we know the legalities of the land. Secondly, we know the product, why the product is made, and why it is matching. So it is matchmaking at the end of the day.
Right.
Every buyer cannot buy there, but this product is suitable for who? That no AI, no technology can match him.
Right.
And at the end of the day, during his working hours, with 9 to 5 jobs, husband wife both traveling from each side of the town to other side of town, it's very hardly a few hours he gets to understand the
Mm-hmm.
project, visit the site, and then take a decision. And the moment he misses it, he see a price rise. Then he again goes to Shell. Because in Pune, if you see, the minimum price range is around 10 to 12%. A year he missed, and he says, no, we should not buy now. We should wait till the home loan capacity is really increased. So I feel it's a saving of time, saving of energy. More than that, it's a safety net that you have because the channel partner like us and many from our association prop are only working with developers who will deliver on time, who deliver a good quality construction, and if at all anything goes wrong, the channel partner is always there. You can buy with the developers guy, but developer guy is on the job.
Mm-hmm.
Understand, Asma? He has job to do. He will leave. The project timelines are around 3 to 5 years sometimes. It's hardly a chance that the same guy will be there at the position time, but the channel partner is always there in the city for you, serving you. So it's like your family doctor, your share broker who generally helps your portfolio,
Yeah.
and that is the way I think it should be looked at.
Yeah, correct. So again, coming back to market, talking about Pune's market and talking about buyers, what kind of buyers do you think is driving demand today? The end users or the investors or the NRIs, or as we are talking more about these days, first-time home buyers?
Yeah. So interesting. I mean, we cannot pick one,
Mm-hmm.
but to be precise, Pune has always been a first home buyer's paradise.
Mm.
There is a huge migration which happens in Pune
True.
because the livability index is very high across the country.
Yeah.
It is number one city in India to stay in terms of safety, in terms of water, in terms of education. In fact, this is the only city which absorbs a lot of people who have came here for education.
True.
So you see tier 3, tier 4 cities
Mm.
like around Pune and even metro cities
Mm.
send their kids to this city to study, and this is the city which gives the job opportunities in the same city, so there is high chance that he will buy a home and get settled here. But interestingly, there is a second grade of buyers who generally, as I told you, there is a home loan closure ratio which is around 7 years,
Mhm.
which is very very quick. So a 20-year home loan, generally this young couple closes in 7 years time, and
Wow.
he is again up for a new buy,
Wow.
and that is where he will have a kid because
Mm.
they got married, they are mature, their jobs are stable. Then they will call their parents from their city to stay with them, then they will buy one more home, and that is the reason Pune's growth has been robust. It's not like Mumbai or any metropolitan city where they cannot buy or afford another house. Here their existing house appreciates,
Yeah.
their home loan capacity is higher, and they have a need importantly to upgrade, and that's why people upgrade to a larger homes
Mm.
going forward. So second category is the end user and NRIs. I mean, this
Mm.
is the only non-metro city,
Mm.
barring you have a Mumbai, you have Bangalore, you have Chennai, you have Delhi, all are capitals. This is non-capital city. Still is the number one city who sells 90,000 homes a year, which is a huge number, and that shows that NRIs will invest because they will get a certain type of appreciations and rentals no matter which city they belong to. So these are the three people. Investors are faded away, honestly, because after demonetization, the documentation become tighter. You have a GST coming in, so they kill more than 7% of their total, 5 to 7% of their total income. In commercial, it kills around 18% of their total revenue. And of course, because of the RERA, they cannot exit in the middle. So that is why the investors who used to be there pre-RERA are not no longer investing. But yeah, I mean, these three categories are driving Pune safely towards the number one position.
Yeah, perfect. And if someone came to you today with a budget to buy just one property, when you are talking about how that couple has bought two houses, so if someone came to you today with a budget to buy just one property in Pune, what would be the first three things you would ask them before making a recommendation?
Of course, so that's a classic question. But then this is very basic. I
Mm.
mean, first should be why you want to buy.
Correct.
What's the real need?
Mm.
Because everybody wants to buy. In fact, if you discuss in lift while going down from the building,
Right.
everybody in the lift will say that I want to buy the home.
Mm.
But we should really know why.
Why?
That
Correct.
should be that should be my, and that is always been my first question. Second is who all will be using it.
Mm.
Because Asma has invested somewhere else, I
Mm.
should not invest. Who all will be using there is the second question that automatically clears off a lot of chaos.
Mm.
And the third is how soon, because these discussions in real estate no longer valid. If you are trying to take a decision after 8 months or 10 months, you can study the market, but it only gives you a disappointment because at the end when you come for the closure the
Yeah.
prices are different and then you take a back step.
Yeah.
So the moment you are in a window of say 30 to 45 days of a decision making, you approach an advisor, a channel partner, a good channel partner who has a RERA, who
Yeah.
is affiliated with the good developers, who should you should check a track record also. Like developers you do a track record, you should also check a track record for a consultant. You should check what all his social media profiles, his LinkedIn profile, a RERA profile where you can see some litigations or cases against him or not, and then approach him and tell him your requirement clearly. He will come back to you with the right properties. If at all you cannot find him finding you a good property, you should approach the another channel partner instead of clicking on the wrong advertisements and getting frustrated by the calls. You only approach a channel partner. There are a lot many professional consultants in the city. As we know, we I just got elected as a president for one of the finest professional body in real estate consultants in Pune. We are 230 companies came together and formed this association called Professional Realtors of Pune, where we all are we have certain code of ethics, we have best practices sharing, we have certain documents which we take in writing from the builder, from the buyer, and that is how we safeguard each other's interest. And that is the way I think the future of real estate gonna be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these three questions and a right channel partner, if you have, it's a matter of few hours that you can close any property in Pune.
Wow, that's like an insight for a first-time buyer. And for in totality, if we talk about Pune's real estate in a nutshell. Thank you so much. But before we let you go, I would like to ask your association with Realty Plus. What do you have to say for us?
So you guys are actually like one of the celebrity magazines or celebrity publications in real estate. You all have always been seen and brought so much knowledge, so much of togetherness for the real estate fraternity, which is normally ignored. You know, a lot of events people just meet and greet and have awards and go away. But I think this is a consistent effort that you guys put, and we see a loyalty of the developers who are always supporting Realty Plus at the back, and that is how it is echoing the sentiments also. I feel this is the only platform where you can have both consultants and the developers coming together and still have a synergies towards the betterment of the industry. And kudos to you for that.
Thank you so much, Udayan, for talking to us, taking your precious time and share the insights. Thank you so much.